Badass!
Just before you left, you said, nobody ever goes in, and nobody ever comes out.
So obviously this is PCS's Blades from the Gamerverse series. I'm not really sure what that is, the Gamerverse, if it's a video game series or what, but yeah, that's gonna be something we're gonna talk about right now. Arm fell off in case you didn't see it. So he does come with a bunch of switch outs, but this is how I've already determined how I'm gonna be displaying him. Real quick, this two other switch outs are both of his hands holding the daggers, okay? And he has two alternate portraits. Now, this portrait is, I believe, this portrait, but just without the slots behind his ears to put on his glasses. Yes, those glasses do come off, and you can actually put them on this portrait where he's yelling, screaming right there. Okay, there's two little slots right behind the ears to put those glasses. Now, real quick, speaking of the glasses, when I was unboxing this guy, there was a huge compartment for the sunglasses with tons of foam, tons of padding. So when I was opening it up, what the heck is all this? And it was just for those glasses. Reason being, they are very, very fragile, very delicate. That's the one thing about this statue that I'm always worried about, but as long as you're careful with it, it shouldn't be a problem. When I saw the pictures of this statue, I knew that I wanted to pre-order it, but that didn't go without any worries. My biggest worry for Blade was the amount of black that he has. I mean, we can see in his outfit, obviously the trench coat takes up the majority of his outfit, you know, black pants, black armor. Now, what was cool about it, as we can see, he does have the red highlights, red underneath his coat, the inside of his coat, to kind of contrast that. So the red also goes with his gloves, and you know, they're just the red glasses. So there were those small bits of contrast that were gonna offset all that black. So it was something that I was really considering not getting just because the amount of black, but when I saw more pictures, I was like, kind of hesitant, pulled the trigger in, and I was still like, please, please, please come in and be an awesome statue. And sure enough, when I opened this thing and put them together, oh, hell to the yeah. One of my favorite statues off the bat, I will tell you that right now. But even though I can say that, you know I'm never gonna lie to you, and I'm gonna be honest with all my reviews. One of the biggest issues with this statue is all the seam lines. Now, Blade himself does not have any seam lines. All the seam lines are with all these vampires down here. So, just let you see real quick. All the heads come off, and all the, well, let me take the head off. So all the heads come off, as you can see. And the arms also come off. And that's the biggest thing. Those seam lines both where the head connects to the body and where the arms connect to the body. Obvious seam lines. Like you can see where the statue does not connect well. And I can understand maybe one or two, but no, every seam line on every head, every arm, it is obvious. And I can see what they were trying to do, you know, with the anatomy, especially with the deltoids. You know, these vampires that are extremely lean and muscular, the striations right here, they're trying to do that, but it's just so obvious you can see the seam lines. Does it kill it for me? Not so much, because obviously when you look at the statue as a whole, it doesn't really bother me all that much. So, but it's just something that I noticed, and just want to be honest with you in regards to the statue, because you know I never lie to you. But if you don't mind bad seam lines, I would highly recommend getting this one. Again, we're making of this recording late February. It is still available, but obviously I'm putting this video out in October. So I don't know if he'll still be available then. But if he is, I would recommend it if you don't mind those seam lines. But the rest of the statue is definitely badass, and let me show you why. So the base here, Blade is on kind of a rocky terrain, and he's actually slaughtering all of these vampires while they're also coming for him. So that's why we see some of these vampires with this kind of yellowish material on them. It's not really material. It's, if you can recall from the movie, when he slaughters a vampire, cuts them or shoots them, they disintegrate. So that's what we're seeing with some of these vampires here. They're starting that process of disintegrating. Not all of them though. What that idea did, what the execution allowed, was we can put all of these vampires here and fit them, because guess what? Where we need space, we can put something there and just cut off an arm. For example, this guy right here, you know, he's missing an arm because he's already disintegrating. He's already lost it because obviously Blade's cut it off. So we have room for another vampire here. And it's just like that throughout the statue. We're able to actually put one underneath Blade himself, missing an arm, and it fits right there underneath his cape or his trench coat. Again, because that arm is disintegrating off, so you're able to put more of these vampires in there. And a total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 vampires total. So that alone tells you how badass this statue is. Another quick side note, if you do get this statue, I would highly recommend before you take any of the parts out of the box, you mark them, because it does not come with any kind of instruction manuals to know what goes where. I had to kind of guess at it. So on the box, what I went ahead and did was put, for example, right here, vampire head, where this one went, I just wrote on the box itself, the foam material, boot. So I know whenever I do put it up, this is the head that goes right there in that slot. I don't want to have to be guessing at that later on. Now, I'm very grateful that it decided to make the vampires these kind of bat-like humanoid people. I think when you have the vampires looking like this, very bat-like creatures with huge fangs, they just look more menacing, more evil, more demonic actually. And I think it makes the statue, or more so Blade, have more of a badass presence here. The biggest thing is their portraits. The eyes are blood red, obviously with the black pupils inside, but those eyes have a very glossy, shiny look to make you give that wet look. Their skin itself is that real pale gray and white kind of color. And we have all the different shadows and shadings within the paint job where they need to be. And also we do have those speckles around different parts of their bodies, for example, their chest, their back, their face itself, to really give it that more skin texture, skin tone of, I guess, a bat. And all of them have those huge fangs. Like, all of the teeth are just huge, long, sharp, very intimidating, ready to rip into flesh, just tear it apart. These aren't just two little fangs, you know, what we normally see with a vampire. These are like full mouth, full blown teeth, ready to bite into something and kill it. And you can tell that these vampires do not give a damn, because even when they're being torn up, they're trying to get at Blade even right before they have to bite the dust. Blade himself is wearing different kinds of black material, different texture work. So yes, there's not just one solid black color throughout the outfit, throughout the statue. His boots here are obviously those army kind of military tactical boots where, I don't know if you're familiar with them, they're kind of not just boots, but they're more designed for combat, running, not just like really heavy boots that's gonna slow you down. Not like work boots, they're more tactical boots, ready to get into action. We do see a lot of law enforcement wear these kind of boots, you know, that just because that's the purpose that they serve. In his pants alone, we do see knee pads, and of course they are different designs, different textures, different material, all black like I mentioned before. The pants, they look kind of like a denim material if I had to guess, but we know that's not it. It's more, I would have to assume more of that tactical kind of material. And what's really cool, I don't know why they did it, I guess maybe for breakages, is these spikes right here on Blade's hips, they actually all come out. Now, again, the reason why I say why I don't know why they did that is because maybe the design was to take one out, maybe two of them, whatever the case may be. See, that way if you decide to display them with these, you know, that's why you see him missing two of them in the slots. That's the only thing I can assume, but honestly, if I display them with these, I am not gonna take these out. I'm gonna keep them in there, basically give the look that, hey, this guy has two in his arm, ready to impale and stab some vampires, but he still has 3 more on the side. Speaking of on the side, right here on his belt, each side of his hips, we do see him having those 2 holstered guns, which I think would have been an awesome addition if they actually had him being able to hold a gun. I mean, if you're gonna have all these switch outs, why not have him holding a gun? That's one of his primary weapons that we see him use all the freaking time. As I mentioned before, the inside of his trench coat is red. Again, I think that was an excellent choice just to offset all that black. The red itself, yes, it is primarily that one same color, but we do see the little bit of black shadows and shadings within it. Not just naturally made with the light, the folds, the wrinkles, but with the actual paint job itself. His body armor right there on the chest, just completely awesome, fully filled with detailed battle damage, marks, claw scratches, maybe some ricochet bullets. We do see all the buckles, not only his belt, but also on his abs right there, to really hold that tactical vest, that bulletproof vest. I don't even know if it is bulletproof, I would assume so, but just to hold it tight, and right there, going into battle, protecting him, even more assurance, even though he himself is a vampire, and when kicking some ass, but hey, when you're fighting hordes, you're gonna need all the freaking protection you can get. He does have that strap around his shoulder or all the way through his back. I would assume that's where he would carry his sword. I wish there was something on the back of that strap that really showed that's where the sword will be holstered. It would also been an awesome addition, for example, if they included somehow a different sword, or not a different sword, the same sword, but just detachable, where you could have actually put it right here on his back. So if he's carrying handheld weapons, not the sword, it would have been sticking out right here on his back, holding the 2 daggers or the blade right here. Just an idea, I thought it would have been badass. Trench coat itself, obviously it is a black leather. We do see it shining everywhere, and based on what I'm seeing, it is all the same color. There's no shadow, no shadings, but we do see a lot of texture work, a lot of wrinkles, a lot of folds. So that alone does provide that natural light, different contrast of colors within the black with that natural light. And of course, it's a shiny material, not too shiny, because it is leather. His other weapon right here, the signature curved boomerang blade that he has. Just a quick note on his hands, are more so the gloves here, also red and black, just to give that little bit of contrast. We do see that they're padded right here on the knuckles, also the metal plates right here on his knuckles as well. Because again, he's gonna be getting into action. You know, if you don't have any more weapons left, hey, use a fist, use the metal on your gloves, go for it, pound some ass, kick some ass, and let's get it done. But the blade itself, yeah, it has that curve appeal, very reminiscent of that signature boomerang blade that he uses in the movie, the very first movie. If you don't remember, he throws it, kills all those vampires with one circle, one swoop. And yeah, very shiny material, very glossy, shiny, gonna hit that light, reflect black. And you know that that's another one of his signature weapons. And when he busts it out, somebody's gonna get sliced up. The signature weapon, the sword, yeah. This sword is not some freaking, well, if you remember, you remember. If you don't worry about it. It's not a pig sticker. This thing is, I don't want to say oversized, but it is a huge freaking blade compared to the rest of his body. I mean, I'll just put it for comparison. Just look how long and thick that thing is. That's what she said, right? But yeah, I have no complaints about it. Do I think it's huge? Yeah, it's a huge freaking blade, but it goes with that. I'm not having no complaints about it. It's just an observation I had, and I'm glad they didn't go with that route, because I would have much preferred this than some smaller, shorter, thinner blade. And of course, his portrait. So obviously this is the one that I prefer. The one where it's just kind of his regular face, kind of showing off his teeth, not yelling. Let me get it out. If I can get it out, hold on. Oh, a strong magnet. So yeah, these 2 portraits, I mean, what I'm seeing right here, very, very identical. The only difference, this one has a sunglasses and this one don't. Was it necessary? I really don't think so. Those slots behind his ears are very, very minimal. I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. But hey, we got it anyway. And this is the one, the snarling mace. Again, this one you can put the sunglasses on him. But let's do some switch out. Let's see how Blade would look with some switch outs. So let's do the portrait with no glasses, and let's keep the sword and switch out for one of the daggers. So yeah, pretty cool look too. And honestly, I don't mind that portrait without the glasses because we do see Blade battle without the glasses at times. The only thing I wish they would have added to the portrait was, I don't know if you remember recalling the movie, he actually had tattoos right here in the back of his head, kind of his neck area. That would have been cool if they added that as well. But no, we have a lot of detail in his face, his facial hair. He has a beard, kind of just a chin beard right here, not really all the way up here. Very, very small little stud, red studs right here on his ears for earrings, are just studs. And the eyes are that kind of hazel color. Again, we saw the movie, he has those hazel eyes just like this. And the teeth are very detailed, grinning. You know, we can see the vampire teeth, the fangs sticking out. Very cool. And the hair itself, very textured hair. And he has those lines, because you gotta look good, right? When you're slaughtering a vampire, you gotta look good. All right, so let's put the yelling face. But since this one can have the sunglasses, I'm gonna put the sunglasses just to show you. Hopefully I don't fuck it up. See, they kind of snap off real easy, but you still gotta be kind of careful with them. There we go. Okay. There are the sunglasses. Again, very flexible, but you can tell they're very fragile. So let's put these on. And again, like I said, there are slots on the side of the head where if you really wanted to do it, you could push those little slots where they go. Not necessary, because obviously I have them on, but they're not pushed into all those slots. And for the sake of the video and time, and because that's gonna be the portrait I put them with anyway, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Yeah, I'm not feeling that portrait, honestly, with him screaming. There it is right there with the glasses. Let's try without the glasses. Give me a second. I actually thought I would have liked this portrait, but I'm actually liking the other one. See how this one looks. That one's okay. So yeah, I mean, I would have really, I would have thought I would have liked that portrait more, but honestly, when I'm seeing it on there, I'm just not feeling it. So to rank the portraits, I would say, obviously this one where you can put the glasses on him, 1. The exact identical portrait where he can come without the glasses, 2. And this one with or without the glasses, I'm just not feeling it. This will be number 3. I'm gonna keep that one on though, but let's actually give him 2 of these daggers. Okay. Yeah, you see, after having him displayed with that huge ass sword and this huge ass boomerang blade, and then putting those 2 small daggers on him, yeah, we're not gonna do that. So let's take them off. Take the portrait off. Take the other dagger off. Now let's put his glasses back on. The other portrait that I prefer. And we're actually gonna put them right on this one. There we go. Snug and tight. Put the sword back in. Put the huge boomerang blade back in. Bam. So there he is, PCS's 1/3 scale Blade Gamerverse statue. Again, I had my worries when I first ordered him just because, again, just to reiterate, the amount of black, but no, did not disappoint. We have all the contrasting red and all the high little details. The vampires are done very well. Blade himself, badass. My only complaint, again, to reiterate, is all the seam lines on the vampires. Had I known this before I ordered the statue, would I not order it or would I still order it? You bet your ass I would have still ordered this bad boy. Couple of reasons. One, it's fucking badass. Two, I don't have any Blade statues. And three, how many Blade statues are actually out there? Officially licensed, I should say. And yeah, did not disappoint. So again, this is one that's gonna be on display for a very long time. And yes, you have been seeing him in my background for a while, and now you know why I did not review him earlier, because I was saving him for October. Happy Halloween. Anyway guys, that's my review on Blade here. If you like this video, definitely give me that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so. It doesn't cost you a dime, but it helps me out tremendously. And leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about him. And as always, collect what makes you happy.